everyone. Thank you all for taking the time to learn more about Contentstack today. My name is Caitlin Bishop. I'm based out of Massachusetts, and I'm going to share a little bit about information on Contentstack and kind of help with some resources. I'm joined today with Eric Crump. Eric is based out of Indiana, and he will be your go-to technical guru for today's session. He'll be able to give you a platform demo as well as answer any questions that come up. With that being said, if you do have any questions, just go ahead and put them into the chat and I'm going to monitor them. So as questions do come up, we'll be able to answer them as they go. So let's jump in. So why are we really all here today? It's really all about the kind of customers that we all are and the kind of customers that you all are. And as you probably see, digital interactions are far surpassing any other form of communication with brands these days. From a high level view, we're seeing that companies are just having a hard time keeping up with this digital first economy. In fact, 70% of customers today interact with their brands through a digital means first. So what that really means is we need to make sure that companies are being able to be best prepared for creating the best digital experiences to engage their customers and then just keep them coming back. And with creating these amazing digital experiences, it really comes with that creating personalized experiences for their customers. And that's because, customers are people and they really want these digital experiences to be personal, and that has a humongous impact on their business. 76% of consumers tell us that they are actually more likely to purchase from brands that create personal experiences and are able to deliver content to all the right digital channels at the right time and at the right place. But what we've learned and what we've heard from existing customers and what you probably are feeling today is that sometimes with your current technology stack and your teams, they just might be experiencing some challenges that are just really holding them back. It might make it harder for them to engage with their customers. It could be instances where it's just old technology that just isn't keeping up anymore. It could be something that, there has to be many, many dev cycles that just have to happen to just make these old technology work. Or it could be that there's just small tasks that just continually just build up, just making it super, super time consuming and manual. And all these problems are just making brands just feel overwhelmed and they just might not know where or, how to improve their digital journey. Levi's is an example that I wanted to mention today. And if you're feeling, any of those pain points I just mentioned, Levi's definitely felt that as well. So you're probably already familiar with Levi's, but if not, they are a jean company. You probably might be wearing some jeans today from Levi's. And they had a large focus on creating a strong customer experience. They knew with their legacy technology that it was just holding them back from being able to tell their story and really engage with customers at every single digital touch point at the right time and at the right place. So they really turned to us. They really felt comfortable and they were confident to trust our expertise to help adopt a solution that proved worth, that education as well as the investment. And by moving over to Contentstack, they've seen a ton of great results, like seeing a 4 times faster content publishing speed. Also, they're able to support 20 plus countries, which is great. And they really put their trust into Contentstack because we've been able to provide them with leading enterprise technology stack. And this really consists of your headless content management system. We have robust features and functionalities like workflows, live preview, content discussions, etc. We also give you access to our marketplace, which is a one-click integration into different third-party technologies. We pair that with our automation hub, which is a trigger and action system. And then we also do have Launch, which is our front-end hosting. And we pair our technology with different, support resources like our Care Without Compromise. We also give you access to our technical solutions organization, and we also give you access to our academy as well. And our enterprise technology, as well as our white glove support, are really all the reasons why many of the organizations that you see on the screen, as well as many others, have decided to put their trust into Contentstack to be their CMS of choice. With that said, I can pass over to you, Eric, to kick us off with a demo.
So I'm going to start off on this example website that I have. In my case, this is a bakery website. I hope you're not too hungry because I am going to make you look at some food. But There's nothing that's really terribly special about this page. It's the same thing that you would find on any other website. There's heroes, there's text, there's images, call to actions, forms, all of that kind of thing. But as I'm looking at this page, Contentstack's going to do a couple of things for me. Right now, I'm on a preview version of my page, and I have the SDK installed. So by doing that, you'll see that as I'm hovering over these different pieces of content, this edit button is popping up. So that's going to allow me to actually see something that I want to change and then act on it. So right now I see that I have this welcome label here and I want to change that. So I'm going to click edit and I'm going to be taken right into Contentstack. And you're immediately going to notice two things. One is on the left is our editor for changing content. And the other is on the right is our preview of our page. Now, I said I wanted to make a change. I wanted to change this label. So let's do that. So instead of just saying welcome, let's say welcome bread lovers. So now you see that in real time, as I was typing over here, this changed to from welcome to bread lovers. If you missed that, you see I can put some text in here. It's going to do that in real time. So great, I've made my change. I'm happy with it, and I'm going to publish this. So I'll click the publish button. I'm going to select how I'm going to publish this. This is going to go to my preview environment. We're not ready for prod yet, but I could. I'm going to select what language. In my case, this is English. And I could say when I'm going to publish this. I'm going to say that I'm going to publish it now, but I could say later, select a time and a time zone and all that kind of thing. But now is good. So I will hit the send button, and it tells me that my request has been completed. So now if I go back to my page and refresh, we'll see that it is now changed to welcome bread lovers. All right, so that's a very simple use case, but you can start to see the power of what we're doing here. As a content editor, I identified something that needed to be changed. I made that change and I published it and it's good to go. I didn't need to speak to a developer. I didn't have to know how to write any code. I didn't have any kind of complicated build process. I was completely self-sufficient being able to edit my content. So that's a very simple case. Let's dig a little deeper to some of the other things that we could do. As I scroll down the page, we have different components here that we arrange in what we call modular blocks. And those are kind of the horizontal swaths of content in our page. It's this text box here. It's our image grid, our big image here. If I wanted to rearrange those, I certainly could. So maybe I want the welcome to go below the image grid. All I would have to do is grab one, switch them around, and now we see that they're in a different order. Now the welcome is below the image grid. Same thing goes for the actual images themselves. So maybe I want to rearrange them so sweet treats goes in front of bread. I could do that, and now we see that those have changed place as well. And there's other things that I could do in here. Maybe I want to make this two columns instead of one column and have it span and then add more images and that kind of thing. So I have complete control of how I want to be able to arrange things on the page. Now, right now, if I wanted to change an image, that's pretty easy to do. You'll see that I have a link to the image right here. Now, this image is being stored in our DAM. And our DAM is going to be able to handle whatever kind of files that you want to put in there, whether it's images or text files or PDFs or videos or whatever you want to store in there will allow you to do so. But if you did have an outside tool that you wanted to use for your assets, we can manage those as well. So maybe you have an integration to an outside DAM. I have one of those set up for me here, and I'll choose. Right now, my integration is with Cloudinary. Of course, you'll find many different DAMs in our marketplace that we have pre-built integrations for. But if you don't see one in there that you need, it's easy to set this up for whatever third-party platform that you want. But if I want to choose another image, I could. So I'll pick choose image, and you'll see that my integration with Cloudinary pops up. And then from here, I can select an image. Now, I don't have any nice food images in here, so we'll just pick this nice picture of a flower and we'll pick insert. And it looks like we didn't, oh, I picked a restricted image maybe. Let's choose another image. And let's find something different. This picture of trees. There we go. So now that our image is there, I'm going to remove the old image and we'll see that now it shows up from the dam. So now the image, instead of being served from our dam, is being served straight from Cloudberry. So great, there's kind of the basics around how we would edit a page and how we would move things around, change images, change text, all that kind of thing. Very easy to do from a content editor's perspective. So that is how we would go about editing content, but let's have a look at how we might create new content, maybe like a new page. So I'm going to step out of my homepage view here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new page. So we'll pick new page. And I'm going to call this, let's get rid of caps lock. I'm going to call this bakery jobs. And now I will publish this to make it available in my live preview. And if I open this up, then we'll see that I have the start of my page. There's no content on it yet. There is the header and there's the footer, but there's no content in between. So that's what we're going to create. So I'm going to start by creating a hero. So I'll say a hero is what I want to add. Gave me a little space. And I can choose an item for my hero. So I'm going to go into people and I'll find a nice smiling face to represent my jobs page. And there we go. Now, I can leave this on the left. I can also maybe move this to the right. What I want to do is probably make this full size. So we have a nice big hero image. So instead of half image, I want to say this is a full image. Now I need to add some text. So I'm going to have a headline that says careers, if I could spell it right. So there's careers. And then we could say something like, we would love to meet you. We're fun. Come to our bakery. Okay, so we have a headline here. We have some text. Now I can do some more things here. Maybe I want to move my text to the left, move my text to the right, or rearrange them. So you can give your content editors the full power to be able to arrange these things the way that you want and also restrict them. You'll notice one thing that I have in here is the ability to change the text color, and there's only two choices in here. If I choose dark, then yeah, my text kind of goes away. The red kind of works, but the rest doesn't. So the light works for me. And there's only two choices there because those are the things that fit my theme on my website. Now, if you wanted to change that so they have more control over it, you certainly could. We could give the content editor a color picker, say, and then they could change the text to whatever color that they wanted. Now, when they start making it magenta or other crazy colors and it doesn't fit your look and feel, they can possibly break your style guidelines. So you can do things like this where I restricted them to two colors to make it fit right in with your own style guidelines. Okay, cool. So we have a hero here. Let's add a little more to the page. And the next thing that I'm going to add is some text. I'm just going to hide this for a second and open, say, text block is the next thing that I'm going to add here. Now, what I want to do is actually add a job description. And I could type this whole job description, but that's a little boring. So what I'm going to do is have the AI assistant do that for us. So I'm going to tell the AI assistant to create, let me click in here, create a job posting for a professional baker at Compass Rose Bakery. So now the AI assistant is going to write this job description for us. It'll have responsibilities and requirements and maybe give a little more information. And it's taking its best shot right now. So there we go. It finished. Now, a couple things to note here is it generated this on the fly without much to go off of. But what you can do is I can actually point this to your own content. So your existing web pages, whatever other information you want to feed it. It'll start building a vector database of all of those items, and it'll start to learn your voice, and it'll start to give, maybe this was a big article that I was going to have it right. It would understand how you typically speak to people. It'll know more about your products, that kind of thing, in order to generate something that very much feels like it's coming from one of your content editors. So there we go. We have our job description on here. Let's give this a title. I could write out a title, or I could tell the AI to create a headline and base that off of the body that you just wrote. And so there it did that. It gave us our headline, and now we have our job description. So our page is looking pretty good. We have our hero here. We have our job description. And let's add one more thing to the page. So what I want to do is actually add images of the people that currently work there. So if you go to a careers page on a website, typically you see all the smiling faces of the people that work there. And we want to do the same. Well, I have all those people stored in my own backend system, and I want to be able to query that. And so what I've done is set up an integration with Contentstack that allows me to go to my own homegrown system, or this could even be like a popular third-party system. We can build those integrations and have those show up. So I'm going to click People here, and it gives me some room. And I want to tell it to go out and fetch the people, and the people that I want you to get are my employees. So our bakery is not huge. We have 5 employees, and let's put their pictures on here. So it went out, it fetched our people, and now I can add those to our actual page. So now we have the nice smiling faces of the people that work here, and now our job description is more appealing, so people can say, hey, that looks like a fun place to work. So there we go. We have our careers page built. We're happy with it, and then we can publish this. So we've created our whole page from scratch. And again, we didn't have to talk to a developer. We didn't have to know how to write any code. You can take, all those nice arty people that you have that can build beautiful interfaces and images and that kind of stuff. And you can have them work here directly and not have that requirement that they need to know how to write code. So great, there's our page. And now if we step back to back to the main page, on our page is this header, and we want to be able to use the header. So we just created the job section. So let's link that. So I'm going to go into my header, and I'm going to find the jobs section. And now I'm going to link this to the entry that I just created. So this was a page. This was called Bakery Jobs. And I'm going to publish that. So now when I go to my page and I want to be able to get to the bakery jobs, I can click the link, and that will take me right to the bakery page that we just wrote. So again, this is another one of those nice things that I can build that navigation myself. If I wanted to add another item up here as a content editor, I could add that item, link it to the pages that I create, and be self-sufficient. Okay, I want to pause there just a second to get my water. Okay, so let's dig into a little bit of the other abilities that a content editor will have. So if I look at my homepage here, we'll see that some of the other features that are up here is one is the languages. So if I wanted to change this to another language, like maybe I support Spanish as well. So when I change this to Spanish, then you'll see that all of my content in here is now in Spanish, and it's going to be easy to manage. So all I have to do is switch back and forth between languages, and I can edit them accordingly. The other thing that we will notice about this is that for our language here. If I wanted to change something on the Spanish side, then I could do so, and it wouldn't affect the things that are on the English side. So if I wanted to have a banner that in Mexico that it shows up and alerts them or whatever, or maybe some special event is happening at my bakery for Spanish speakers, I could add that banner here, and then it would only apply to the Spanish side, but not necessarily the English side. Moving across is our versioning system. So if I open up our live preview again, we have this where it says welcome bread lovers, and we can see that in our text box over here. But if I wanted to roll back to say version 19 here and look at my text block, then we see it's back to just the word welcome. That's where it was when we started our demo here. So real easy to move back and forth between versions. I can also do things like rename a version. So maybe I want to name this to February bake sale. And there we go, if I could type. So now we have our February bake sale item. And when I want to roll back to that, it is easily available to click there. Other people might do things like name them after JIRA tickets or name them after specific events that are happening. So you know that you can always refer back to that. Maybe I take my site and in the next couple of days, a lot of things are going on. We have all those features. And then I want to roll back to the main site the way it normally is. I could add a label according to like main site and then roll back there. I could also do things like compare different versions. If I click the compare button, you see all the content side by side. The things that are different show up in red. We'll see that our welcome here is in red and everything else is in black because none of that changed. So easy to switch back and forth and choose different versions that you want to compare and see what's changed. Also moving across the top here is our help. We have excellent help inside of Contentstack. If I click the button, you'll see that there's content sensitive help that will take you right to the articles that you want to know. But there's also this handy chat with support button down here. That's going to give me access to ask all my questions to an actual live agent. So the first thing that happens is the bot answers. But if I don't want to talk to the bot, he can answer my questions, but maybe I want to talk to a live agent. So I can talk to live agent, and we'll see in just a second that an agent will answer. Typically, a response time is under 2 minutes. And it doesn't matter who you are as long as you have a Contentstack login. So you could be a dev, you could be a content editor, whatever the case may be. Help is always very near to you, available right in the UI. Okay, so one other thing that is important to mention is workflow. As we've been going through this, I've been clicking the publish button and pushing things out directly. And that's not the way that most people work. So most people, a content editor wouldn't have the option to just go out and publish anything they want, change the web page, that kind of thing. So as an admin, I have access to this publish button, but as a content editor, I probably don't. So what I have though is my workflow over here. And right now, when I'm go to make a change, my page is starting out in the draft stage. But I can, now that I've made my changes and I'm happy with like the label that I changed, I can move it on to the next stage. Maybe the next stage for me is review. For you, it could be something completely different. All of these stages in here are completely customizable. You can have many stages that it goes through. And then our combination of users and roles will control who has the ability to manage each stage. So I want to move it to review. And then I want to actually say when this is due as well. So maybe this is due next Tuesday. And then I'm going to say who I'm going to assign this to. I could assign this to Caitlin maybe, or I could assign it to a role. I could assign it to a content manager. And then anybody in the content managers group can be notified. So we'll pick notified by email, and I can say I changed the welcome label. So now when I click update, any of the content managers is going to get that email, and it's going to have a link right to this piece of content. And so then they can review it. It'll open up here. You can see what's changed. They can review that. And if it's good, they can move it on to the next stage. If not, they could then send it back. So real easy to manage that flow of everything through your app, and especially when you have stages like translation and when you're using other languages, you want to make sure all of that gets done before it ever gets published. That it's easy to use workflow to manage all of that. There's also some handy collaboration tools available to you. So if I click the button here, then we'll see that I can add a comment. And maybe I want to say something to Caitlin to say, is this correct? And so when I do that, when I hit post, Caitlin is going to get an email, and it's going to have a link right to this piece of content. So from there, she can go in and click the button and then review it and see, is this good? Is this bad? Whatever the case is. And then we also will see as our discussions over here, that here's the post that I made. And you can see that Caitlin popped in there for a second. And so we can see that she's collaborating with us at the same time. And now that we have our item here, Caitlin can mark this as resolved or add more details. And then you can also see a whole list, history here of everything that we've talked about, the whole timeline, see what's been resolved, et cetera. So that's an overview of what the editor experience is like. Of course, there's a lot of other deeper details in Contentstack. We could talk about what the developer experience is like. Maybe one of the things, well, we have a couple minutes left. Let's talk about publishing a little more, and that's really the concept of releases. So right now, I've been publishing everything one piece at a time as content with a publish button. I also have the concept of releases. So I could take many pieces of content. So the job page I made, my home page, all of those things we could add together in a release. And maybe we call that Black Friday, or maybe we call it, some event, or, just, some Jira ticket. So we could have those releases and then schedule when that's going to get published. We can use our handy release preview app to be able to manage that as well. So you have this nice calendar view that shows all your releases on here. I can click on a release. It's going to bring up the web page, and we can see what it's going to look like on that date. So another handy tool to have. So I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that. One last thing to mention is I talked about users and roles a little bit when we talked about workflow. But that is definitely a powerful tool with inside a Contentstack. I can create roles for users where they have access to everything. Like myself, I'm an admin. I can do anything that I want in the platform. But I can also restrict them down to maybe all they can do is change one field on one particular content type, and that is it. And they can't see anything else. So with that robust system of roles, you're going to be able to have people do what's specific to their job and then not ever have to worry about that they're messing with something else. Like you might have a user that all they do is create blogs and they can't touch the homepage or anything like that. So you can set that whole system up. It's pretty easy to do, and it's easy to create those roles. Okay, so with that, as I said, I'll move past some of the developer things. I'm always here to contact if you want to know more information, have a much deeper dive into the product. There's of course, this is just the surface of what we've done, but I hope this gave you a great idea of the power behind Contentstack, how much easier it can be for your content editors, how much relief you can have from the dev side, that they're not always being spending all their time updating content and your changes, and you can do all that yourself. All right, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. And thank you all for joining us today. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. We're here to support you. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.